Y'all all recording this. Y'all all recording this. Y'all all recording this. This is not police. Come on. Thank you.
Why are you pulling the car?
Baby, get your back up. Thank you.
Get inside.
How you gonna record this? This is not. How you fucking kidding me now?
Get inside the car.
Why I gotta get inside the car?
Sorry about that. I let a cuss word slip.
I gotta get inside.
Everything choreographed today. Let's call a bus.
What? No, leave me alone! And you're recording this. And you're recording this. What does that make y'all? Y'all the same? Y'all the same as them?
Stop resisting.
Y'all the same as them?
Stop resisting.
Y'all recording?
Leave him there. You gotta bus him. That's all right.
Y'all recording?
It's all right. Leave him.
Stop resisting.
Leave him there. We put him in the ambulance.
This is nice here. And I'm being recorded live. And this is normal. And this is normal. This is your own people.
If you're not getting in the car, then just call the ambulance.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank you.
Wait.
Don't force him.
No.
You see us forcing him? He don't want to get in. He don't want to get in.
He
He's
was
going
a
on the
little while
ambulance.
ago, I see it, but just let him go right now.
Because he resisted. So now
All
he's
right,
in the
now
ambulance.
I know that shit.
Thank you. So you see us doing anything now?
We got it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
He's becoming nervous.
You could. You could. You could speak.
Yeah, but put him in the
That's what I'm saying.
ambulance.
What is he want to hear yet? He's not going to hear yet.
Little kids possess. What you doing?
What, he wants to fight. Nobody beat nobody.
No, I'm
Don't
just
say that.
asking little kids possess. You know, you don't be
Kids are different, man. This is a
You don't
grown
be
man.
stuck because you don't know his mentality.
Right. We know the mentality. He's ADT.
Y'all gonna
Yeah, so that you know,
When you have the bird cape in the back,
so I
we did that. They're on their way right there.
Meanwhile, in the Bronx.
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
Good morning, guys.
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
Hey, guys. I'm James Hake. This is the Hake Report. It is Monday, August 26th, 2019, 9 a.m. in the 4th hour of the Jesse Lee Peterson show stream. And I just wanted to give you a little taste of what's going on during the course of all of these Trump derangement syndrome people talking about, oh, Trump is dividing the country. Talking about Mayor Pete Buttigieg, a fake Christian, homosexual, and radical liberal leftist kiss up to the Black Lives Matter type. And Anthony Scaramucci, who at one point supported Trump. And people respected him, people liked him, some people that I respect and like. I never really paid much attention to him, so I didn't know what to think of him. I thought he maybe be wild, and maybe he's being just a passionate supporter. But he turned on President Trump, and now he's total fake. And then totally fake criticisms of Trump. Same thing with Joe Walsh, a rhino whom we, not me, but Tea Party types, of which I used to be pro-Tea Party back when they were somewhat significant, have now supported this guy Joe Walsh became a one-term congressman out of Illinois, a Tea Party guy, and then he turned never Trump type guy. He voted for Trump because he didn't like Hillary, but he was not pro-Trump. And then now he's gotten total Trump derangement syndrome. I think he always had it, but now he's even worse. He's running against him. And he says that he won't even support Trump. Meanwhile, Trump is supporting actual unity, promoting actual love and supporting the country. And these people are pretending that they are so self-righteous. All anger is self-righteous anger, right? People think that their anger is righteous. But no, it's self-righteous. And that's what these people are. They can't be trusted. They're fakes. And so I just wanted to show you a little taste of how the blacks are acting, and nobody's pointing it out except for some people like the conservative media and Jesse Lee Peterson and Donald Trump is not happy about the disrespect towards police. He called out that phony guy who doesn't deserve to be on a football team, Colin Kaepernick, who kneeled and set a horrible example for black children and other colored children. White kids are also kneeling too sometimes. Idiots. Aiding in their own destruction, right? Speaking of Jesse Lee Peterson's biblical question. And by the way, make sure that you do support Bond. Bond is Jesse Lee Peterson's nonprofit. We are going to be moving at the end of the year. We're going to have to build in-house our own new studio in whatever location we go. If you don't know, our engineers built in-house our own studio, staging, lighting, all that in-house. Didn't have to spend a lot of outside money. So that's cool. Your money will be well spent because we do stuff DIY and we work to get it right. Apologies for yesterday's end of church service mix-up. That was my fault. One of the volunteers asked if he should turn off the camera, and I didn't realize that Jesse was answering the biblical question. So I don't know if did Jesse answer the biblical question today? Okay, cool.
Not today.
Oh, he didn't? Oh, shameful. We will be getting to that. So that's my fault. I'm white. So let me get to some calls, and then I'm going to get to a little bit more about Joe Walsh and Anthony Scaramucci and just what they are saying. And Pete Buttigieg, who's pretending to be a Christian. It's so laughable. The most homosexual Democrat who's running for president is pretending to be a Christian. Vicky, also known as Spring Thyme, out of Georgia. Spring Thyme, as in what is it called? I don't know that he's not going to know. He's black. I'm referring to Joel. Thyme. It's an herb or a spice. Maybe she can tell me. Vicky, out of Georgia, how are you?
I'm well. Happy Men's History Month, Mr. Hake.
Thank you. And what is thyme again? Thyme.
It is a spice. It is a spice.
Okay. As in parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme.
I don't even know how I picked that name. It was just something other than my name.
All right. Cool.
I just wanted to call and follow up on the call. I called Jesse. I got so tickled because you're so spot on about lesbians.
Right.
Because I was one, up till really I started pulling out around the 80s. I started pulling away from the left. I started really looking at things, and I was around a lot of really radical women.
Right.
That were just so evil and full of hate, and it was supposed to be love, and I just wasn't seeing that.
Yep.
And so much of the hate was they were just separating themselves from men in life, and I've got nephews and brothers and friends, men I love and respect, and it was just not fitting anymore. By the time Bill Clinton came into office, I was done, and I was already moving into conservatism. That's a long story short anyway.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk about the pattern. I didn't have a name. I didn't know what to call it when you were describing the lesbians, the fat lesbians, but it's the truth. I mean, my God, they go on this divorce diet. They get skinny and work out. Then they get with some woman. Then they blow up within a year. They're both fat.
Wow.
And it goes on like that. It goes on. And I've noticed that over the years, and I just never know what to call it. And you were so spot on. And even the evil part, too, it's just like since I've really got the Lord, when I started letting the Lord in my life again, I just see my mind, how I used to think, and it was such an evil level, like you said.
Yeah. It's really...
And I don't know. It's a really, really evil. The left in general is evil, but I think you're right about lesbians.
And they support everything that's so wrong. They support Antifa. They support Black Lives Matter. I saw them wearing Black Lives Matter shirts up there at the Straight Pride Parade. And they pretended, what is that name of the town? Modesto rejects hate. But they're the ones hating the most. They had their middle fingers up. They were saying Nazis go home, calling us Nazis, which is the most hateful thing that you can call a white person. Besides racist, is a Nazi.
It is.
Yep.
It certainly is. And this is what sparked me calling, because I saw that clip, and I'm just outraged at how even now, James, I grew up in the South in the 50s and 60s, and these people obviously don't know, they don't realize what they're doing and how they look, and
right.
This is going to come back on them, and it should come back on them.
Yep.
I mean, there was something to said for staying in the closet and keeping your mouth shut, and that's what so many of us did, and till we came out of the fallen state. And I've only got 2 friends left that were also lesbians at one time, who also think the way I do and have come out of that state. And that's pretty much it. My friends are heterosexual and have been for years. And, I will always be labeled as that, but I just don't even care anymore.
Nice.
Because, it just doesn't matter.
That goes for all the wrong things that we all do. We should keep those things secret, be ashamed of them, try to overcome them in secret. And yeah, you can go to like somebody that you trust for help, but you don't broadcast it and be proud of wrong. But they want to
exactly.
They want to bring back pride in being ridiculous.
It says, and how they don't realize what they're doing. They're going against the very thing that they sought out years ago, is to be, prideful of who they are. I've never been to a pride march ever. I never will go to one.
That's good.
But leave the straight people alone. Let straight people have their time.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really, really pissed off about all of this. I'm sorry, but I'm really ticked off at how they're acting.
Well, I mean, like you said, they don't realize what they're doing. They don't realize the harm that they're bringing on everyone else and themselves, how they look. If they could see themselves, I don't think that they would be doing this.
I don't either. I just don't know. They're just out of their minds. And, you can show somebody some truth. It's like, everything you and Jesse, or the conservative mind think anyway, always has an answer. There's always an end.
Right.
Liberal thinking, you can't ever find an answer. There's never an end. You just get to a point, and then it's name calling.
Yep.
And you can show somebody a bit of raw footage of something that has been twisted around by the mainstream media. You can show them the raw footage, and they will still believe that mainstream media over what they're seeing that's real. And I don't understand what's happening to people's minds.
It's because it's like an utter blindness, and they believe lies. I've seen it happen with in the workplace, when you're witnessing the same thing the other person is witnessing, and they totally misinterpret it and then just make up stuff about their bosses and other coworkers and stuff. They just make up things, and they act like they think that they're right, and it's so wild. They just brazenly lie. That's why I know that's seeing that I've been able to realize that people are just outright liars, and you can't really trust anything that you hear in the media about the president, even among so-called people that were insiders with him, like Omarosa and Scaramucci and all these other people that supposedly worked alongside him, and now they've turned on him. That just reflects badly on them, not on the president, because you can see how they are.
Does.
Yeah.
And I truly hope that people see that. I really think people are waking up. I hope that they have, James.
I think they are.
We cannot lose this election coming up.
Right. I agree. And I don't think that we will, because we have the right man for the job doing it. And he's the only, if this election can be won, it will be won by Trump, because Trump is he's the only fighter on a high on that level who is capable of doing that, and he's shown that he's not backing down. So that's nice.
Yes.
Appreciate it, Vicky.
Thank you so much, sir, for taking my call today.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, Spring Thyme, Vicky.
Yes, sir. Take care, James.
All right, bye. I kind of hung up on her, aren't you proud of me? Some of you guys said that James is not alpha enough to hang up on people. But anyways. Clifton, first time caller out of Toronto, Canada. Clifton, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. No man is good. But happy Men's History Month.
Yeah, happy Men's History Month.
This is the last week. Saturday is the last day of Men's History Month. Let's squeeze all of it that we can.
Is this some type of celebration you guys do, or some type of event?
Yeah, this is our second annual Men's History Month under the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. He started it. And the reason is that men are under attack on one hand, and they're also very weak on the other. So men need to return to greatness or goodness, both, in order to
how
be.
you return is forgiving your mother and your father or whatnot, right? And
Yeah.
for you there or something.
That's part of it. That's part of.
So have you
becoming a man.
have you forgiven your mother and father? Or?
Yeah, I apologize. Well, I don't know if I forgave them from my heart, but I did I did tell them, I'm wrong for having hated you because I'm no better than them. But I don't know if I've actually forgiven. I think I need to stick.
For you?
It was good to do that. That was definitely a good step. But I think one of the tricks of the mind is that once you do take a step like that, then you think, oh, I can coast. Now I've done something hard. Now I can coast. And so, I started to neglect the prayer. Total beta, right? And so I wasn't actually seeking God with all my heart. And that's a very beta move.
So is that like the gateway into accepting God into your heart?
It's one of the
reveal things to you after that, or how does it go?
I don't know because I haven't really fully committed. I don't think so. I think
so you're not fully of a son of God? No,
I wouldn't say so. I would say based on some of the beta anger and fear that comes out sometimes, that I'm one of your brothers in Satan.
Okay, so you're still a sinner or whatnot?
I think so.
So
are you a sinner?
I am a sinner.
Dang.
And I'm not proud of that or whatnot.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's more to it than just forgiving your mother and father.
There is.
He says and stuff like
that. There is. That's the first step.
So you've been under Jesse's wing for how long now? And you haven't
under his wing
any changes. Yeah, you've been
I've been coming to church. This is a nice warning. I've been coming to church since 2007 to the Sunday services, and there have been people that come in longer than me too. And there's stuff that I get intellectually, and I can express a lot of stuff that is technically factual, maybe true, but that doesn't mean that there are people that take it and run with it the first time they hear it, that are ready to change, and then there are stubborn beta males who don't take it and run with it. So that's a warning.
Do you feel like Jesse's teachings is the right way to God and to be in the kingdom of heaven?
I haven't heard anything. I'll put it this way: I haven't heard him say anything untrue.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But how can you say that if you haven't fulfilled his?
Because it's not just hearing the word; it's doing it, putting it into practice.
Okay.
That makes sense because there's a lot of people that listen, they feel good, and I think it has definitely happened with me. Feel good about it, yeah. I'm committed, blah blah blah, but I'm not really committed, and so that's.
So the thing about what Jesse says when he says that your thoughts are all lies.
Yeah, that's one thing that I don't. That's one thing that I don't understand, and I haven't really. I think I haven't been practiced awareness to where that I have even noticed that.
Oh, really?
Because it's about you. Each individual has to seek for himself. Otherwise, you're never going to get it because you're just going to be listening to somebody who's speaking the truth, but you're not going to get better. Just
Okay,
like
so-
Jesus,
okay, so-
Jesus
okay,
said, Jesus even, hold on, let me just explain. Jesus gave a parable about the kingdom of heaven being like seeds scattered around the people, and some people it sprung up and took root and became real. Other people got real excited and then they died out, and other people grew up among thorns, and then the thorns choked it out. So it depends on the individual what happens with them. It doesn't depend on you can't blame the messenger for the message for the person failing to take the message and run with it.
Okay, I understand that.
Yeah, what
for the
you
most
think that
part.
Jesse doesn't speak the total truth?
I mean, I don't believe him in certain things he talks about, like how
If you
he's
don't,
perfect and stuff like that.
you mean you
He
don't
says-
get
he
it,
says
or you
he's
don't believe it?
perfect. He
That's
says
fine.
he's
You don't have
perfect,
to
but no one's
listen.
perfect.
Yeah, there are.
Nobody's
Why? That's
perfect.
not. No, that's a worldly thing to say.
So,
You a Christian?
Have you seen? Okay, wait.
Are you a
It's
Christian?
I like to say that. Yeah,
Okay, then
for the
why are
most
you
part.
repeating worldly things? Nobody's perfect.
No,
That's a
because-
worldly thing. That's not a Christian thing.
What do you
Christianity
mean?
says be perfect.
Jesse says that once God reveals the truth to you or whatnot, then
Yeah.
you should be perfect, because no man can live a sinful lifestyle.
So
and
said
be in
Jesus.
the kingdom of God.
So said Jesus and the Apostle John. You don't believe Jesus or John either?
Jesus was perfect, right?
He said to be perfect. He told people to be perfect. And John too said that no man.
And Jesse is perfect, is he not?
Right.
So do you honestly believe that Jesse is perfect?
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't lied to me yet.
That wasn't confident. I didn't sense
Because
confidence.
no man knows the heart except for the man himself and God.
Okay.
So why are you gonna try to cast doubt on the man when you're not perfect yourself? You sin.
Okay. So you believe
Why?
Jesse is
No,
perfect.
answer that. Why are you gonna try to cast doubt on the man and judge the man when you're not perfect yourself? You sin, and you just
Because I
disagreed
haven't seen-
with the
I haven't
Bible
seen
that you
anyone
pretend to
in my
believe in.
personal experience being perfect, so I don't think that's possible.
Oh, so you're not. So then you don't believe what the Bible says either.
The Bible says be perfect,
Yep.
but it also says believe no man. And
Yeah, that's good.
Jesse is a man.
That's fine. You shouldn't just believe Jesse. You should believe the truth that he says.
Yeah, and he says that the truth will be revealed to you
Right.
through the system.
For those who seek, for those hold on. For those who seek with all their hearts, have you sought with all your heart?
No, I haven't done that.
Okay.
I don't even know how to do that.
Yeah.
I don't understand how Jesse realizes when. Does it
Then
say
why don't
forgive
you-
your mother
why
and
don't
your
you-
father in the Bible?
why don't you
Where does it
stop
say
judging
forgive your
Jesse
mother
and-
and father in your Bible, and then you get forgiven?
Why don't you stop
Where did you
judging
get this?
Jesse? Why don't you stop judging Jesse and observe yourself?
I do observe myself. I observe myself every day, but that's not the point. The point is that he's teaching you, and you haven't done any.
No, he's not.
committed to any of the
He's not
things.
here to teach people. He
Of
doesn't
course
want to
he's here
teach people.
A preacher teaches, right? He preaches the word of
A
God.
preacher
He
preaches.
teaches the word of God.
A preacher preaches. There's only one teacher, and that's the Holy Spirit inside, according to the Bible.
So what is he? He's like a guideway.
A preacher. He's a preacher. He preaches.
And he guides you to the word of God, right?
You can point. Yeah, you can point it. Just the Bible points to it too, which you seem to reject, too.
You reject the Bible as well.
But that's no benefit to you.
Yeah,
Just
but
pointing out you do it too. That
I'm
doesn't help.
listening to you and Jesse, and I'm trying to get insight and how to be fulfilled.
No, it doesn't
And-
seem like it. It doesn't seem like it. It seems like you're
doesn't
judging.
seem like it?
You're out to judge and try to disprove.
Because
Jesse.
I'm picking holes. I'm picking holes.
You haven't picked any
find the
holes.
chink in the armor.
You haven't picked any
You
holes.
understand? Yeah, I'm poking holes. To see
You
if
haven't
you're
poked one hole. Name one hole that
wanna-
you've poked.
Yeah, I'm questioning the fact that Jesse says that he's perfect, and you believe that he's perfect, and that doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay.
And how the fact
All right.
that
You don't believe the
your
Bible. That's
mother and
fine.
Your father.
You don't believe Jesus said that be perfect. You don't believe that's possible. You don't believe that John said no man born of God sins. You don't believe it. That's fine. I definitely I can definitely understand and relate, man. Satan's our daddy.
You're saying you're all about truth, right? You're all about truth.
I never said that.
Is that not right?
No.
You're seeking the truth. Do you not seek the truth?
Yeah, maybe, not with all my
Why do
heart.
you sound
Otherwise,
so
I'd be much better.
You don't sound confident. I don't.
Right,
Do you not
yeah.
seek the truth, James?
No, do you?
You don't seek the truth.
No, do you?
Of course, I seek the truth.
Yeah. No, man. No, dude, you're not. You just
So what
told
do
me that you
then? If
don't seek it with
the
all your
truth-
heart.
If you don't seek the truth,
I gotta
then you
go,
speak
man.
Lies, right?
Anything else?
Yes, I want to ask you a question. I want to ask
Okay.
you what I came here to ask.
All right.
Okay. So do
Real
you
fast.
believe that Israel is America's strongest ally?
I don't know. I don't pay much attention to foreign policy.
Okay. So like I said, you seek the truth, right? So the truth is that
So you told the screener that you want to talk about Trump and the wall, your thoughts, and so far you haven't even mentioned it.
No, I said political.
I gotta go, man. I'll talk to you later. Call me again, though. I've talked to you for a long time, but I
You
appreciate
haven't
it.
answered none of my questions.
Yeah, I did. Take care, man. Matt, out of Modesto, California, first-time caller. Matt, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, James?
No, man is good. I'm fine.
I like how you're being firm and hanging up with people.
Yeah, finally, huh?
You will never believe what happened yesterday. I went to the grocery store. I bought the local paper. And on the front of the newspaper, it was the crowd at the straight pride parade. There was a photo of it, and you and Jesse Lee were right there.
Nice. That's cool. That was this morning?
That was yesterday morning.
Okay. Oh, yeah, because it's been 2 days now. Sunday morning paper.
Yeah, I tried to call yesterday, but I didn't get through.
Okay. That is
I have
nice.
a question for you.
You made it there too, right? You made it to the straight pride parade?
No, I actually got called in to work.
Oh, okay. All right. So you weren't one of the guys that we met up there. We met several guys and a couple of gals too.
Not me.
Okay.
I had a question for you about California.
Yeah.
And living here, it seems kind of like David versus Goliath. You know, the left has control of everything. The
Yeah.
media, a stranglehold on the education system. They basically control everything, our whole government and everyone that works in it. What can the conservative people do about this other than just leave? Because that seems to be the only solution.
No, do not leave. I mean, I recommend not leaving. Maybe there's individual cases where it makes sense, but generally do not leave. Stand and fight, because we once had California, believe it or not. And we can get it back.
It just seems like
don't look at the numbers. The numbers are
so outnumbered.
Yeah, don't worry about that. That's what the world looks at. That's what they look at. At this straight pride parade, you'll notice that these females and beta males, they all talked about, oh, we have more numbers than you. They literally said that. And I'm like, you guys are dumb, though. You're wrong. Or I forget what exactly I said. But the point is that they have the numbers because they said that we're the majority. And I said, going to hell. Because that's, or they're already in hell, really. Because they're not happy people. Otherwise, they would have totally left us alone and we would have been a nice little rally, not much to speak of. But they they amplified our message because we used them to create a splash. And we created a splash. This story has made Drudge multiple times. This straight pride parade thing has made Drudge multiple times. The word is getting out. And because we're not, especially Jesse, but also this Don Grundman guy, he's standing on what's right. And when you are doing that, that creates an impact. That plants a seed in the children of the lie who are destined to wake up, let's say. And it also plants a seed amongst the so-called good people who are afraid to go out or they're too busy working, no offense, or whatever.
Right. Well, there was not a whole lot of people out, and you would think
But
that there
hey,
would be
but hey,
millions there because only 2% of the population is gay. Or
I know, but the majority have been brainwashed.
nationwide.
The majority, it seems like maybe, have been brainwashed to support the so-called victims, right? Because they pretend to be victims, and so there's a lot of people who don't work. They're socialists. They hate America. They hate ICE. They hate cops. They hate white people. They hate conservatives and Christians. They hate Trump. And so there's a whole lot of people that do that show up, but don't be intimidated by numbers. Even with the masses of illegals and anchor babies coming in and the brainwashed masses coming through the education system, we can overcome all of that. Look at Gideon. I think God had Gideon in the Bible, the Old Testament, narrow his troops down to like very few. I mean, yeah, it was in the thousands maybe or hundreds, but it was against huge armies to 300. Wow. Maybe Nick is referring to the movie 300. Different situation, but don't worry about the numbers. Oh, it really was 300. How does Nick know? Nick's not a Christian.
Yeah, I read some of the tweets that from Antifa that was popping up online that they were saying, the ones who were there, and they just were spewing just hateful comments that the cops were pigs. There's pigs on horses. Making jokes about the police, making jokes about just spewing hatred. And I don't understand how anybody can have that much hate for somebody else.
That's the other thing that wakes people up when you see the contrast between love, actual love, which is the straight pride people. You know, some of them are doing their best. Some of them may not be perfect, right? But between that and the actual haters, which are the people pretending to stand against hate, those are the actual haters. And when you see it so naked, it's kind of like what Trump did. He brought out the worst in the worst people and the best in the best people. He exposes people, and that has awakened a lot of people, and more people shall be awakened.
Hopefully we have 4 more years of that.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
I appreciate it, Matt. So
hey,
the answer is to stay and fight and set a good example, and we'll turn the tide. If not, then at least we did our job, not run and hide, cry to mama.
Well, that's funny because most people that leave California, they're not all conservative.
True. Yeah. They just don't like the taxes.
Many of them are liberals, and that's why people in Oregon and Washington and Nevada and Texas, they say, we don't want you here.
Right.
Stay in California. They hate Californians because they bring the liberal ideas with them.
Yeah, California is kind of like an S-hole country that imports socialist or exports socialist voters. I appreciate it, Matt. Thank you, man. Happy Men's History Month to you. Take care.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. Maze, my favorite caller out of Dayton, Ohio. How are you, Maze?
Hello, James. How are you today?
Doing fine, thank you.
I'm marvelous as always.
Right
I
on.
had 2 questions for you.
Okay.
Now I heard Jesse and West talking this morning.
Alan West, Colonel Alan West, former representative out of Florida.
Alan West.
West 4, Texas. West number 4, Texas.
In the military, so we don't want to talk about him. My question is, why, when you hear them talking about when black people were Republicans, what were the white Democrats doing at the time when black people were when they were that way?
They were being typical Democrats just as they are today.
Were they being good people, or were they treating people nice at the time they were Democrats?
Nope.
Caucasians were Democrats?
Yeah, some people I'm sure they were nice to. You got to be nice to you got to be nice to somebody to be a politician.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What I would like for them, when you hear 2 of them having a discussion about when black people were Republicans, I want them to say, when George Wallace stood on the steps, said segregation now and segregation forever, and why they got upset, because things like that happened. And when people sit at the counters and people had to go in the back doors and had to drink water from a colored fountain and all of these different things.
So terrible. At least they had water.
Doing this, or were these Republicans doing this to black people?
Those are Democrats.
And now what are they?
They're still Democrats.
Oh, no, they were Dixiecrats. And they want. I want them
No,
to
they're
get their
still
party
no. The
back.
Democrats are worse than the
want them to have their
Dixiecrats.
party back.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what,
know what I
Mace.
gotta say?
I'll tell you what. The Democrats today are worse than the so-called Dixiecrats of back
But
then.
they both two of the same token, as I tell you. You flip them over. it's still
No,
the
they're
same
not
thing.
really. Because the Democrats
Yes, they
today
are.
support abortion, Black Lives Matter, radical homosexuality,
I'm
and
not talking about
transgender
black
and stuff.
Now I'm talking about, let's talk about laws.
Yeah, let's talk
the
about
laws
reality.
that was supposed
Present
to have.
day.
We want to talk about the laws.
Yeah.
We want to talk about the Black
Yeah,
Lives
they made
Matter,
up laws.
White people and Black Lives Matter.
The Supreme
No,
Court
we're talking
pretended
about the
that
laws
they
that
are
got.
lawmakers. The Supreme Court pretended that they're
lawmakers.
lawmakers
Don't
and
they
they
switch up?
so-called
Don't they switch
legalized
up?
abortion and same-sex marriage when they're not lawmakers,
switch?
they're activists.
Jamie,
Huh?
they switch parties?
No, not very many
they
people
do.
switched parties.
Really?
Right.
Ronald Reagan, wasn't he a Democrat before he was a Republican?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is the truth. Let's be real.
Only a
Was
few
Trump
people switched
Democrat
parties,
before
not
he
very
was a
many.
Republican?
Not very
Wasn't
many.
Trump one before he was a Republican?
He became a Republican because
Richard
the
Shelby?
Democrats were so evil. He didn't want to be that
And
evil.
Richard Shelby switched up back and forth. So what's the difference
Whatever.
between the two? They still the same.
You
doing the
named
same
two
thing.
examples. I told you, not that many.
Not that many, really.
Right.
Okay, if you say so. So when
I
you
say
hear
so.
people like Jeff and him having a conversation, why don't you ask them the question? What were they doing? What was the Democrats
Because
doing
it's a
to black
dumb.
people? What-
Because it's a dumb question. We
They
live
come
in
up with
reality
this-
today. Reality today is
We-
Democrats are pure evil. They're worse than Nazis.
Well,
They're
well,
worse
you
than the
never
people that are
care
labeled
about
as
talk.
Nazis today.
you mad with Scaramucci? Everybody that come
Yeah,
out.
Scaramucci is scaredy cat. Scaramucci is a rhino. He's a phony. Let me show you. Let me tell you guys about Scaramucci.
Well, no, James, I'm asking you a question. You can tell them when we finish. So you want to
Okay.
talk about Scaramucci, and then you want to say about what black people don't work and black people don't do this. It's been 400 years today.
They don't cooperate with cops.
400 years yesterday. The child can't even admit the history that was done.
Who
Ignorant
cares about history?
all
It's
the things
ancient
that was
history.
done.
Nobody
But when-
actually knows what really went on because there's so much lying about
Yes,
it.
you do know.
No, I
Like
do
told
not.
you, it's
Nope.
happened-
Nor do
Okay,
you.
James, it was written in the Bible, and it's there in writing. Just like your president do tweets and stuff.
America's not in the Bible. We're not Mormons.
Not what nobody said about him. So it's what I'm saying. So I want to know you to explain it to me, since there are two of them over there having a conversation about what black people used to be Republicans. Tell us about the Democrats what they were doing at the time they were them Caucasians.
Who knows?
That's your part of the role to take over for it. Well, since they're not divided.
Not true, Maze. You're lying.
Putting together.
You're lying.
Tell me, where am I lying at, James?
Because
Give me
you're
the lie,
saying
tell
you're
me.
saying that the Democrats switched to being Republicans. Fake.
They didn't.
That's a lie.
What were they when black people were Republicans?
Only the good Democrats became Republicans.
Oh, real good.
Yep.
Oh, y'all know good. But you say you wasn't together yet, so you still working.
Yeah, I wasn't born yet.
You got a home
All right,
somewhere.
Mace.
And it's going to come out one day, and I'll be glad to see it. And then when Jesse showed a videotape of a black person doing something to somebody.
Do you support
wouldn't wanna show what
Maze?
white
Do you
people are doing,
support
and then
gay
you have an
pride?
equal
Do you
yoke.
support? Hey,
You know
Maze,
what
do you
equal-
support
you know what
so-called
equal
gay
yoke is?
pride?
Do I support what?
So-called gay pride?
No, I don't, but I ain't got to lose my mind and act like I got to go home.
Ain't no buts.
There's like...
There's no buts.
Any politician that y'all don't like, y'all want to threaten them. and do
Nah.
stuff to 'em,
Hey,
and they
this
gotta
was
get
a straight
defeated.
pride event. Did you support straight
Why?
pride?
And just always, let me tell you.
All
what's
right,
in the
Maze,
way of
I gotta
people
go.
getting things. Yeah, I know you do. You have a good day.
All right, you too. Take care. Oh, she hung up on me. Beta. Let me play this. Let me play the silent one, just to show a little bit of what Maze wants to kind of pretend isn't happening, or say that, oh, whites are doing the same thing. I could get as many videos of that. Just show the silent one. There we go. Here's a lot of blacks fighting with the police, and I made this one silent. They're trying to arrest this guy in a wife beater, and this woman with bleached hair, trying to have white hair, is getting in their face, trying to record and fighting with the cop, and it's a mess. And then there's other guys fighting. One guy lost a shoe. A black guy with flip-flops is getting in there, but he's too old and like he probably has a beta back like me, and he shouldn't be getting in there. But look at this woman is just getting in the faces of the cops. They should taser her. But then I think that would amplify the problem, because there's a whole lot of blacks standing around trying to get involved. And this is in New York. You see NYPD police station, and they're taping it sideways. They're black. You can tell when it's kind of like a World Star video. They always record it portrait rather than landscape, so you can't really get the picture properly because most people look at videos landscape, but they want to record it portrait and then they want to turn it sideways. So dumb. But that's the type of stuff that's happening in the black community a lot in New York under Mayor Bill de Blasio, who has a black former lesbian wife. And Mays claims that there's equal amount of videos of white people doing this. And as Colin Flaherty says, who documents the black crime and mob black violence and all that stuff, black on white crime, black on handicap crime, black on Asian, and black on black. And riots and looting and all that stuff happening quite regularly. She says that there's just as many white videos. I don't think so. By the way, I forgot to mention about Bond. You can support Bond before I get to more calls. What Jesse is asking for, and it's a great request, is that 1,000 people donate $100 each to Bond. I'm going to join in on this. I'm going to do that. 1,000 people donate $100. That will help us get to move. And you can do that by going to rebuildingtheman.com/donate. That way PayPal doesn't take any, YouTube doesn't take any, all those platforms that want to deplatform conservatives and good people and independent-minded people, of which those things describe Jesse. You can go to rebuildingtheman.com/donate or call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. Lines open 9 to 4. So as of the start of my hour, the lines are open to the office. You can call, that's the office number, and donate. And there is also a mailing address. You can donate by snail mail. It's called Super Chats by Snail Mail, right? For some of you guys, you bears. P.O. Box 35090, Los Angeles, California, 90035. That is Bond. You make the check out to Bond if you want to do it, or money order. P.O. Box 35090, Los Angeles, 90035. Los Angeles, California, 90035. All right, guys. So let me get to Robert, first-time caller out of the Bronx, New York. How are you doing, Robert?
I'm doing well. How's it going, Jake?
Doing fine. Thank you. Happy Men's History Month, by the way. Happy Men's History Month.
Thanks.
It's the last week
Thanks
of it.
a lot, bro.
Yeah.
I'm super happy to be a man. How are you feeling being a man?
It is nice to be a male working his way up to being a man. According to the cops, I would be a man. Working on it.
Funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an everyday battle, bro. That's how it is.
Yeah.
So my question for you is, what's your stance on sex, bro? Before marriage? Like,
I don't support it, man. I do not support sex before marriage. And some people claim that sex is marriage. I don't buy it because people don't treat it that way. The reality is they do not treat it that way. So I support marriage before sex. I was raised that way, and my mother taught me it like way too early, maybe, like before I even comprehended anything. And she kind of trained me on like that rules following mindset rather than seeing, you know, but it is a good rule in reality to follow because it is wrong. Yeah. Even if you don't know, even if you can't express why it's wrong or what's wrong about it, there are unquestionably a whole lot of negative results from it. But you can't even just be results based. Just know it's wrong. Yeah. There's a simple way to live that I've heard described. I have never done it. Of if it's right, do it. If it's not right, don't do it. And people tend to seek after fun, and I'm guilty of that too. But I haven't had sex yet. But you should not do it.
Wait,
how about you?
Are you a virgin, bro?
Yeah. But I don't know if a man can be a virgin, actually. So I don't know if that's a correct answer to say yeah. But no, I haven't had sex with anyone.
Have you ever been inside a vagina besides your mom?
No.
You
no, man.
Amazing.
Yeah. There's actually a lot of people that were trained in that way, and they held to that standard. It's better than doing it, but everybody got their issues.
I'm gonna share my story. What happened with me is I was raised the same as you. Like, I was taught sex before marriage is a big no-no.
Yeah.
Long story short, at 18, I met this girl and I ended up having sex with her, and she was a freak, bro. Like, she was a super freak. So I got addicted to the sex.
Yeah.
And I thought that the sex was love because it was amazing at the time.
Yeah.
But now that I've experienced that, I know that sex is not love, and I won't fall for it as easily, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. There are guys out there that have fallen for the lies and done it, and then afterwards they stop doing it. In some cases, those people are better off or further along in real understanding and real manhood than the people that were traumatized with don't have sex before marriage and follow all these rules, because the rules followers become like judgmental, overly sheltered, naive, and making all kinds of other mistakes. And so, yes, it was wrong to do that, but now you kind of see for yourself that it is wrong.
Yeah.
So, no regrets, but it is wrong to do it and definitely should be avoided.
Yeah, 100%. I have one more question to ask you, bro.
Okay.
All right, so I have like this big flaw that I'm trying to work on, and it's like I tend to lie at least once a day, bro. Like it could be like the stupidest, dumbest thing. Like I'll just lie about it. Like my friend will tell me, "Oh, hey, are you on your way?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm right in front of your building." And mind you, I haven't even like brushed my teeth yet. Like, stupid stuff like that. So like, what do you feel like is a good like? Do you lie yourself?
I think I do. I would say I don't know if I lie like to that extent. But sometimes, like, if I don't want to go to something, I won't necessarily say no. And that's kind of dishonest, right? It's better just to say no, right? So that's like a beta lie. I would say that that may be a good question for Jesse, to be honest. I don't know the answer to that question. But I do know that, in general, when you see something wrong with yourself, Jesse does tell people, and it seems like good advice, to watch yourself, not judge yourself, right? It seems like good advice. Do you do what Jesse recommends, praying regularly?
Yeah, I tried the silent prayer. I do it. I've been doing it for 3 weeks already. Like I do it every morning and every night before. Like, see, I'm lying. I don't do it every morning and every night. I do it most mornings.
All right.
You gotta catch yourself.
Yeah, that's one thing that will hold people back when they're not fully committed, I think. It seems like. Because, like the Bible says, you'll find them when you seek with all your heart. If you're not doing it morning and night, everyone, then Jesse says, then you're not praying. Because praying is praying without ceasing. And I think that he makes a good point with that. That if you're not seeking with all your heart, there's no... you're not going to be... That means that you're seeking other stuff, other gods. You have other gods before you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
that makes sense.
Yeah. It's good to be honest about that stuff and not make excuses or lie or soft coat it, sugar coat it.
Oh, okay. I'm going to see if I call tomorrow and I ask Jesse. No solution on that.
Okay.
But I do agree with you. I think the silent prayer, doing it constantly every day is definitely going to open up my mind to what I need to do.
Yeah, because that's how you seek God. Because no man nor yourself can save you. He also offers private counseling. Did you know that? So you don't have to call and wait on hold necessarily if you want to talk privately with him. You can call the office.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you can call the office and set it up. It is quite affordable and recommended. But you can also call the radio show too. That can be a benefit to other people listening.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
All right, Robert.
All right, cool. Well, it was a pleasure, my brother.
Yeah, you as well.
Good luck on your journey, becoming a full alpha. I'm on the same road.
Appreciate it.
Enjoy the rest of Men's History Month. Have a blessed day, my brother.
All right.
Care, bro.
Same to you. Take care. Mark out of Brazil. Been waiting a while. How are you, Mark?
Hey, how are you doing today, James?
Doing fine. Hey, nice to hear from you.
Good to hear from you too. I just wanted to kind of go through a little bit of what's real about the forest fire down in Brazil, or the Amazon, or jungle fire, or whatever you want to call it.
I heard something vaguely about that. Down in Amazon, Amazon is burning. Not to be confused with the online store, unfortunately. Or fortunately.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I mean, I don't think only the people that are directly there really know how big the fire is, but I've seen a lot of reports from people that are there, and they're showing videos around them, and there's no fire. The Amazon is huge. It's like maybe the size of, it's bigger than Alaska. I mean, it's big.
Yeah.
And it's probably a third of the United States.
Wow.
And the whole Amazon is not on fire. And what recently happened was that the president of Brazil was in Europe, and they were asking questions like, well, what are you going to do about the Amazon and all this? And he made this comment. I mean, he's pro-Brazil patriotic.
That's Bolsonaro? Is that Bolsonaro?
Yeah, Bolsonaro.
Okay.
And his response was, he said, well, the Amazon does not belong to Europe. It belongs to us, and we're going to take care of the Amazon.
Nice.
So, basically telling them to keep their nose out of Brazil's business.
Yeah.
And not too long after that was when the fire started. Well, they've been arresting people that were responsible for starting fires.
Okay.
But you have to understand, I mean, it could be a big fire, but it may be 1% of the entire Amazon.
Right.
And I mean, they are, and also another thing too, fires do start by chance because you have the material decomposition of the material on the jungle floor, and it can heat up and start a fire, and it could be started by lightning as well.
Yep, it's the circle of life.
Right, and it's not as bad as people are saying it is.
Yeah,
and it's just something that happens, and it's not. They're trying to make it look like that the new president is responsible for everything, and he's negligent, and the fire started because of him, and it's far from the truth.
And I have a question about Bolsonaro, which you may or may not know, but I've heard mixed things about this guy. That on one hand, he seems like a nationalist, like the Brazilian version of Trump, and I don't know if that's true. And then on the other hand, I've heard that he's clamping down on, for example, journalists, independent journalists, such as like Glenn Greenwald, I think is down there maybe, living in Rio de Janeiro with his homosexual boyfriend. But that's beside the point. But husband, so-called.
There's a lot of fake news about that. Greenwald, what he did was he was involved in espionage down in Brazil. He was wiretapping certain officials, and he was he's involved in homosexual affairs with a lot of the politicians, but
I don't want to get into. Actually, never mind, man. I don't want to get into that because I don't like this rumor stuff, and I don't want to spread. I don't want to spread that type of stuff. I appreciate it, Mark. Though, man. Yeah. Thank you for the updates. Take care, man.
Well, I mean, he's extreme left.
Yeah, I know that he's a leftist, but I don't want to get into rumors. Take care, Mark.
There's a lot of fake news about that.
All right. Yeah, I accept that there's a lot of fake news everywhere. Appreciate it, Mark. Take care.
It's true.
All right.
Hey, no problem. Take care.
All right. Yeah, I don't like any, kind of like Jesse says, don't gossip. I don't like spreading stuff like that. Nasty stuff, even about a guy that's openly homosexual and leftist. Glenn Greenwald was one of the guys who was sane on the Trump-Russia thing. And I appreciate that part. He's got other issues, but I don't believe the counter to the fake news necessarily either. And it seems like he does. And I don't like promoting that stuff. Anyways, Wise, let me get real quick. Wise out of Connecticut, first time caller. Wise, how are you?
I'm good. How about you, buddy?
No, man, it's good. I'm fine, thank you.
Hey, so I just had one quick question. Actually, I had two quick questions.
All right.
First question is I just started watching Jesse, and I think this fucking guy is hilarious. Sorry for swearing, but
you're millennial.
You know, I mean, yeah, you know, what do you say?
You're a millennial. Millennials tend to cuss.
I was gonna say, actually, I think there is actually a new term for people my age. I'm only 21.
Oh, you're a Gen Z. All right.
Yeah, there it is.
Zoomer. All right.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I just find him really interesting. Like, I just take everything he says into perspective, you know. I kind of like some of the things he says, you know, as far as, like, you know, living your life without anger. You know, some of the things he talked about is, you know, being an alpha. You know, certain things I disagree with, but, you know, so be it. Doesn't infuriate me anyhow. But nonetheless, I wanted to ask you, what is something that you disagree with Jesse on?
Let's see. There is stuff that I don't get, like when he says every thought is a lie. I don't get that.
Yeah.
But I don't. I can't say that I disagree with it because I don't know. I haven't paid attention to my thoughts enough to notice. And so that's one thing that I don't say get. There are different picky things that I prefer. Like, for example, to have my own way about.
Of something specific that you disagree with him on?
I can't give you an example of something that I disagree with him on. I can give you... Why not? Because he's right about everything. There's stuff that I don't... There's stuff that I don't...
Have you checked everything verbatim, your eyes, mouth, and ears, that everything he says is true?
I have not.
So how can you say everything he says is true?
I didn't say everything that he says was true. I just said that I haven't heard him say anything untrue. Because I can't just because
you haven't researched anything he's had said to confirm for yourself that it is true. How can you say he said anything that is? He hasn't said anything that's not true.
Because none of it that I know of has been untrue. There are some, you know, minor factual things that he may misstate every now and then, but it's like irrelevant. You know, like there's a lot of people accusing Trump of being a liar, right? And they're the people accusing him are the biggest liars there are. And most of the things that they're claiming are lies are stuff that's, it's a matter of opinion, or it's some side note issue, which is a diversion from the main point. They for example, when he said that Mexico is not sending their best, they said, Mexico is not sending the people. So that's like a dumb point, right? Because whether Mexico is sending them or allowing them to come, that's irrelevant. And
so in reference to the first question, is there anything you disagree with him on? And if so, is there an example?
I just said no, man. I answered it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the second question was going to be, when could I actually call to talk to Jesse? I watch his show pretty often, but this is the first time I called.
Okay. So. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. your time till noon. I recommend calling right at 9 or a minute before or 2 minutes before. 9 till noon, perfect, Monday through Friday. Yeah.
All right. I appreciate it, and it was good talking to you.
You as well, Wise. Thank you, sir. Take care, and happy Men's History Month to you.
One.
All right. Bye.
Thank you.
I'll see you guys, and make sure you support Bond, Jesse Lee Peterson's nonprofit, with the purpose of rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. Your heart has to be stone and cold and weak and pathetic not to be supporting a mission like that, and Jesse's actually living it. So do that, rebuildingtheman.com/donate, or 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. We just need 1,000 people to donate $100 each. That would help us to move, because we got to move into a new place. We've outgrown it. All right, guys, take care.